That would be. I still haven't seen that movie.
That movie's supposed to be bad.
Yeah, but it's still like Idris Elba and.
I watched like the action scenes from it, just a clip on YouTube, and I was just like, nope, I'm not into. This is not particularly looking all that good.
At this late date, I can probably see it for free.
Yeah, I think the big issue. I believe the big issue most everyone said was you're cramming way too much content into a mere 90 minutes.
Right. They should have focused on one book and not 4.
Yeah. Right. And there's also the idea that it would make a much better like Netflix miniseries.
Yeah. It's the whole Dune thing again.
Dune?
Well, when they try to make a Dune movie,
and they're making a new Dune movie,
right? But it's very hard to get it all into one movie.
No,
that's the whole thing. And then they do the miniseries, and the miniseries is lacking because there's just something about it that's not what you thought. So.
And when he's done, Barney will run the game. And so we started that 24-hour cycle, getting people in the Bay Area all up on this. Since there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This thing just update.
There were 6 cons a year in the Bay Area.
I don't know.
We did that over 3 years.
Oh, I'm gonna have to post my essay.
Now this thing changed like 90 million times. This was the problem, but it was never really frequent. By that time, we had a blanket of ability to be able to defend superhero. And Doug Garrett decided that he wanted to do a spy game, something for espionage. And Steve Peterson said, well, I really like the pulp heroes from the 20s. And that's how Justice Incorporated came about. Oh, Justice League was loads of fun. So I still got a box set at home that I break out occasionally. But we just started playing it, and because the rule system was consistent over all these games, we were able to tailor craft them and tailor craft the systems so that even the little wiggles and squirrels and funny things that were funny in espionage, you could take out and we found out just how versatile a toolbox it really was. So finally, I badgered George for a good 6, 8 months. Look, sit down, write this goddamn thing out, with all the changes in it, hand it out to people, run it a con, but be thinking eventually.
$33,607.
Cool. It comes around to a web presentation. They used to stack the discs up next to the TSR-80 that we were using to type this thing up on, and they'd stack them up. And my girlfriend had a long dining room hall in the house. So just off the kitchen door, we set the computers up, and we got pillows and chairs, and we would. Like when we were doing the games, we would do marathon typing sessions. And so we finished this, put up here, the ones that were still down here. So one day, Barney is standing over by the piano in the family room, and he looked at my brother-in-law, Kirby, and he says, "Catch!"
Okay. Appreciate everyone's patience. I needed to give my back a little bit of a break. And now, doing my liver a lack of a break by having a double old fashioned. Big Irish old fashioned. So, actually, right. That's it.
Stopped going to school, and they worked for 2 weeks straight. Back to back. It wasn't the game we designed originally, but it was as close.
Got it.
I think I shifted the camera slightly.
And then we turned it out, and then we turned it.
Oh, you're good.
The drive story is just blaring in itself now, but God, when that happened,
I was trying to rearrange the chairs over here, so Michael joins me
and I wasn't
on camera. It'll be a little easier.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
So would you grab me my Braves cap? It's hanging from the back of the thing over there.
We finally got it all put together. Now, during this whole first
They win.
we went to Pelican.
They're always winners to me, Mr. Surbrook.
And I saw
They're always winners to me.
Uh-huh.
Me and Charlie Fannin, may he rest in peace.
What are you gonna do for her?
All right.
Well,
Who's that guy?
I don't know.
My name's Lee. I have a Kickstarter called Zombie Golf.
so we sat down and we talked with him.
Check it out.
I basically walked away. I said,
I'll be quiet now.
All right.
I said, you'll be the in-game.
I presume that I'm on the other half of your screen.
Stuff.
Yeah, there we go.
All those characters together. And I said, yeah.
Oh, I should have shaved.
Yeah, whatever. I'll just lean in. All right. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for indulging us in the break there. I see we still have a few people hanging out, which, you know, impressive for as late as it is. First off, we'll go ahead and introduce my Big Irish Old Fashioned, which I was going to make on camera, but it just didn't work out because I just wanted to make it, so I did. So in there in the kitchen, Glenn Thain is talking to Brett Baker. You know, they're still hanging out. Some of the rest of the folks called it a night. Lee's still here. The professor here showed up. Corey finally had to call it because he's got to work in the morning. But Jennifer will be back in a little bit. So we're still going. We are still going. We got another 10 hours to go. 9. Well,
33,600.
yeah, 9 hours. You know, we got 10 hours to go. We're just till 10.
Okay.
So
I will try to stay as. Well, if I end up by crashing the couch, I crash.
you're crashing the couch, yeah. All right, so where's mine? Where's the controllers? I was going to the bottom. I'm not going to I can't find where I put the damn. What's it? All right, it's all right. That's fine. Okay, so we just did the big epic game where they fought and defended Denver, which was awesome. Glenn was part of it playing Arcano. Brett played his character Chameleon from the ATF Denver game. That worked out really well. I'm really pleased. Everybody got to do a lot of stuff. It was very action oriented, and so we had a chance to do that. But the professor here had another game he was involved in, and a setting that we are interested in exploring, getting on the roster for Prowls and Paragons down the road. So I'll let him talk about that too. If you have seen Evil Beagle Games offerings, you will have seen Michael Surbrook Presents, which is our most expansive line of products. He's one of the most prolific writers I've ever had the pleasure to work with. He's also well known amongst Champions fans, having done quite a bit of Champions related, both professional and fan oriented work. Is well known as a guru that people look to do a lot of design work. And we are very, very excited that he's gotten excited about Prowls and Paragons and so start working on doing that. In fact, one of the games he's been running was the original Aaron Alston Strike Force campaign launch scenario, featuring the Overlord, the Invincible Overlord, and others. And he's done that in the Prowls and Paragons setting, just system to see how that works. And he's recently put up a fan-oriented document for people who want to look at how they might take some of their champion stuff and turn it into Prowls and Paragons Ultimate Edition stuff.
It's kind of incomplete, but I think it's good for nothing else. I can let other people expand upon it. I've got other work to do.
Yeah, Michael has done extensive work for a lot of different companies now, including us. You've got some of your sketches in the show? Where's your sketches?
Not with me, but
You had something to show.
yeah, hold on.
Surbrook, Sketches by Surbrook is another thing that he's doing. You can find that on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page for it. He's been doing these amazing art renditions where he takes established actual photographs and turns them into very artful, in some cases, kind of fantasized imagery. He was just showing me. Here's the camera right there.
There you go. You're good.
Yep, there it is. So that's actually a couple of characters from Rogue One.
That's Rogue One, and then a few more traditionalists. That is Toshiro Mifune in Yojimbo.
Yep. So he does some really, really amazing stuff like that. People can actually give him photographs of them, like in their cosplays and stuff like that, and he'll turn those into very, very beautiful stylized pieces. And he's starting to do other artwork. He's also really good with maps and things like that. So very, very talented. He's also our chief of operations because he's also incredibly well organized. So with the Michael Surbrook presents, we can talk about that some. But part of what I wanted to get him to talk about tonight was his proposed settings for Prowls and Paragons. So which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about the one you're in because you're probably going to be you're enjoying that one.
Oh hell yes, Well of the Worlds.
And let me clarify, that is the Well of the Worlds. It has nothing to do with Jack Chalker's Well of Souls. That's a completely different product or story setting. No, it's called the Well of the Worlds.
So give us the pitch.
So, Well of the Worlds is a Lost Worlds planetary romance setting, very much inspired by such media as John Carter of Mars, The Land of the Lost, the anime El Hazard, the novel series Castle Perilous, the Destroyerman novel series, maybe even Chronicles of Narnia. Sean and 5 other players woke up after a plane trip to Bermuda to find themselves on a grassy plain with ice-capped mountains or snow-capped mountains to one side, in a long, extended land to the other. And they have been exploring a world that has many things that are similar and many things that are strange. Much like every pulp era planetary romance, everyone they meet is humanoid. So, it's very Star Trek, just a little bit of makeup effects, and there you go. If you've ever read Ringworld, you kind of know exactly what I'm talking about with the way all the people look. And they have determined, as of recently, the world is, they believe, flat and a disc. So...
Yep, it's been very, very odd. We've been encountering all kinds of crazy stuff. We have a sense that we're in a world that is defined by fiction as much as anything else, an invented or created world. And we've all been waking up every day with some additional sense of change in ourselves based on what we think about ourselves, what we believe, what we like. Some aspect of who we are and how our subconscious may affect our development in a world that is pumping effectively. We think it's nanomachines or nanites because we found some ejector systems that we think are being pumped in. It's not affecting everyone. It's affecting us, and apparently it affects a few handful of others who have come into the world, including the little wolf. And, so I've gained the ability to basically be an Irish version of Captain America, right? Whereas a guy who was the children's television entertainer wearing the
Dream Dragon costume.
Dream Dragon costume has now become basically a very, very large humanoid dragon.
So the idea for the character generation, when I'd struggled with this and had done something with it, then scrapped it, and then finally sat down with a notebook and started writing ideas out. In character generation, the first time I did this was very simple. You built a normal person from the here and now. From, in this case, it would be, hey, it's 2019, it's April. Everything that you know is the way you know it. So Trump is president, and we're all waiting for Endgame, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is out, and so on and so forth. And you would develop. This was done in Champions. You can do it in P&PUE. With P&PUE, you build a basic 50-point character. You can do things like martial arts or expertise. You can do languages. The little things. You can. That's how you individualize your character from there. And you build a normal person, a police officer, a medieval recreationist. You can be a mail clerk, an Army, ex-Air Force, a pilot. These are all different characters that have been in different games. I had some actors once, and I had one other game. It was one person played a charter boat captain, and everybody else played people who were all together on that charter boat. If you've ever remember an old novel called Doomfare a Core Monday, you could play, hey, we're a military team in Vietnam or Desert Storm, and we went somewhere, and now we're somewhere else. But the point is that when you complete that character, you need to give me a dream or inner desire. My friend Nestor Rodriguez knew exactly where I was going with this. So he borrowed from Astro City, and he played a former Air Force pilot turned airline pilot. And he told me that in my dreams I fly. I had one guy who, he himself was an artist, so his character was an artist. And he just wished the world was like his sketchbook where he could erase and start over whenever he wanted. One guy was like, it's anime or it's nothing. I got, what was it? I want to protect people was yours.
Well, yeah, because I'm an Irish, Republic of Ireland federal cop, part of the Garda, Garda, and I'm working for Interpol. And I'm actually flying to Bermuda to help with a joint international operation to interdict against drug dealers. And I've served in Somalia and I've served in other places. So I've served as a federal officer in combat, as an Irish Republic officer in combat situations. All my gear stashed and everything like that. But here's the thing. I was a kid who loved American comic books, and I especially loved Captain America. And I had in my character's head that wouldn't it be nice if Ireland had somebody like that. And so at some point, I, end up with some of the local weaponry, because most of them are in the medieval era kind of stuff. Yeah. So shields and stuff like that.
And yeah, so
I have a shield.
He was given a shield and a spear and some other gear, but he doesn't carry any of that but the shield now.
I dumped it all. I even gave away my gun.
Yep.
I actually had a 9mm, used it once in the world, and I've never used it again. I ended up handing it off to our tech expert so she'd salvage it for parts. And I don't care. I don't even bother carrying the spear, the shield, sword, nothing. And everyone's freaking out because, why is this guy just have a shield? Why is he just throwing his shield at people? But why is it going back to him? And it has the Garda symbol on it. So that's why people have been referring to me as, Captain Ireland. I said, no, I'm Garda.
But the thing is that, yeah, the characters wake up in this world, however you want to get them there. I have about a dozen options, including you can have your superhero characters visit if you want to bring them in due to
the Omniverse.
Due to the Omniverse.
This is where the Omniverse ends, I think you said?
It's where the Bermuda Triangle ends, but in the text I just say it's at the bottom of the Omniverse.
At the bottom of the Omniverse.
There's one reason why it's called the Well, is that the people who live there don't call it the Well, but the reason why I call it the Well is that everything that falls out of the rest of the universes in the Omniverse trickles down and falls in. You didn't hear that, but that's kind of a clue about all the weird stuff.
Fair enough, but I already kind of figured that out. I'd already actually figured that out.
So now the question that nobody knows is why does it do what it does to the people who were there? And I'm not.
Yeah, we haven't done it. Here's the problem. I'm in this game, and I'm really, really enjoying the reveals. So there's only so much you can say about it. But I think at this point, you guys already have a really good idea. And I've said this over and over again, this game proved Len Pimentel wrong. And Len's been thrilled to discover how wrong he is. There's been a lot of discussion about whether this game could handle low-powered gameplay, like normal human or slightly advanced human gameplay, because we designed this as a superhero game. We designed this as we're not going to restrict ourselves. We're not going to try to make this a generic system. We're going to try to make this a superhero freaking system. But can you play people who are at the low end of superhero or are very talented normals and still have them satisfying characters? The answer is yes. With no powers or abilities or anything whatsoever, when we first start playing, we're rolling our 4, 5, and 6 dice at best for what we're doing, and it mattered because the scale does work. If you've got, if he's setting challenges for human level players to deal with, or human level characters to deal with, they're challenging, but they're doable.
Well, also it helps that you guys can assist each other.
Yep, between teamwork and assisting and everything else, humans can do awesome freaking things. And now, right now, we're 8 dice characters. We are 2 dice over human max. And most of us have some powers, but they're not like world-breaking kinds of things.
But when you look at the scale of who you're interacting with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're up against people who are talented people, and there's a couple of especially talented people, but the point is it does scale down as well as it scales up. He's running a game where we're 8 dice characters. I'm running a game where they're 18 dice characters, and the game works at both extremes. For the fact that it's basically supposed to be a 12 die core level game, which by the way is exactly the same as Champions, and that's not by accident. 6 to 8 die characters are fun as hell to play. 15 to 18 to 20 dice characters are fun as hell to play for different reasons. So you don't end up with the game breaking at any of these scale levels. This was not something that Len had planned, but something that we accomplished.
And so what I want to do with the setting is I want to do the Well of the Worlds, which will be about 50,000 words, and then I want to do a book called Wonder Workers of the Well, because in the Well itself,
A who's who.
yeah, but in the Well itself, people with superhuman abilities are known as Wonder Workers. There's the Star Trek naming, or the Star Trek Universal Translator system is in this world worldwide. Yep. The curious side effect is
this is great.
The curious side effect is that you often hear the meaning behind a word. So they've started, like, occasionally they'll encounter somebody. Well, they encountered somebody named the Lord of War Little Wolf, and everybody's like, "Wow, that's a mouthful." And then one of the people who spoke,
you drink it all.
I do.
Take a sip of that. That's my version of an old fashioned.
One of the people who speaks Gaelic realized that Conan translates roughly to Little Wolf.
Thank you.
And they began to wonder, who there's somebody out there who calls
I just can't
himself
drink tonight because I have a long
Conan.
I hear you. You're welcome to crash if you need to.
No, I got stuff to do.
Sorry. Go ahead.
This actually allows me a great deal of fun when I create, because I've been creating. I've got about almost 20 Wonder Workers now. Some of whom I can name because they're ones that Sean won't be naming. But I can give such character names as Wolf who devours the sun, the Lord of the Dark, He who hunts the night, Princess of Swords, the Maker of Corpses. And I realized that this is actually works really well, and in some cases,
I guess my name would actually translate as the one who guards.
yes. Or even better, what I've done is I've looked up mundane names, and I've picked apart exactly what it means. So they actually, one of the NPCs that's in their entourage is known as Wind from Sunset, which is nice and poetic. But what it actually is that it's actually a loose adaptation of an old PC of mine. His name is Zephyrina, which means wind from the west.
Which is,
Well, the land doesn't have a west.
nope. The land is very odd.
Yes, the land doesn't have north, south, east, and west because there's no North Pole.
We can't make jack shit of the geography. I still haven't figured it out.
Well, the best part is directions.
By the way, it's after midnight, so the language barrier's off. Just saying.
Is anybody actually listening? We're not getting any comments.
Yeah, we have 16 people watching and listening.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. Oh, I see.
By the way, folks, we're still, they ask questions or comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, so one of the things that actually made them realize that everything was off was when the sun was too low in the sky, and when it went down, there was no stars and no moon.
Gone.
Moon they were fine with. A complete lack of stars
Freaked us out.
confused them. And then they found out that there were no weather seasons. So there was no concept of a year because there was no the moon, stars, nothing went through any pattern. And the sun doesn't move. You know how like Stonehenge and everything, they'll have when the sun rises here, it's spring solstice and winter. No. The sun rises and sets in the exact same spot every day,
so
day in and day out.
Those of us who have good survival skills, which my character does, are freaking out because none of this makes any damn sense, which is why we were able to figure out pretty early on if we're all alive and if we're all not insane, this is like some sort of weird created world that we somehow ended up in.
Oh,
Now, we had a very lost experience because we were on a plane. All of us were on an airplane. We woke up on a piece of the fuselage. We're all perfectly fine except one of them had like a bruise on his head. The rest of us were fine. None of the other seats. The seatbelts were still fastened, but there was no bodies in them. It was like Rapture style or something. All the stuff was there, but they weren't there. And we come out and we're in this strange freaking world. This is such a fascinating game. Right from the beginning, a fascinating game. And if you wonder, does Pros and Paragons with its basic core mechanics and you roll evens and blah blah blah, does it really support role play? Oh hell yes, this game leaves you alone enough to role play the hell out of stuff. Like any game can be role played, but the mechanics never get in the way. When a task comes up, when a challenge of some kind comes up, it is so easy to go, I'm going to try this. Okay, well, I'm going to help out because I'm going to come up with this cool idea. And I'm going to come up with this cool idea. Okay, well, I'll get a couple bonus stuff. Roll. There's a basic threshold thing. The GM can quickly figure out what kind of threshold they want. Or even just go ahead and see what the roll is and go, that looks really, really good, so you get this. And it just gets out of the way. It's crunchy, so you don't feel like I wrote a character up for nothing. So that's the thing I have a problem with a lot of narrative games. It's like, why did you bother putting any stats down if you're never going to pay any attention to them? But this game lets you feel like I wrote stats down and my character specialties matter, but it never gets in the way.
Well, yeah. I
of
mean,
stories.
remember, one of the things that I constantly say is, well, you have a lot of expertise in this, so I'm going to give it to you.
Mhm.
There's times I mean, I don't like. I pay attention to what character specialties are. So I want them to learn things. It's kind of the Robin Laws idea. It's not. You're going to learn this. It's just maybe the dice and what you know determine when and how. So I like to feed the information out, but I want to give it to the appropriate people.
Yep.
And there have been sessions. Now, when I ran this for Champions, I had two guys who had a very bad RPG experience, and I remember that one of the best things they said was after that first game was, "This was amazing. We rolled dice like 3 times and spent the rest of the time interacting with each other and asking the GM questions," and they thought that was fantastic.
Hello. Yes, we are in fact live right now. We've been live for.
I guess I'll
Thank you, John, Eric, L. Swagger, for your pledging. What we're talking about is a setting that my good friend and partner in the company, Michael Surbrook, is working on called The Well of the Worlds. We're going to talk about his other
GameCube viewers. It went from 16 to 18.
We're gonna talk about his other setting idea that he's got in mind here in a minute. But first, I'm gonna take a quick break.
So actually, one last bit about
We can keep talking about both of them while you want. I just wanted to get that. But go ahead and say the thing.
Oh, so one of the things that I actually really enjoyed too is as I spilled information, they discovered, in fact, that the way they tell time in this place, because you're like, how do you tell time if there's no seasons?
This is so crazy. There's so much detail in this freaking world. This is why we call him the professor.
The way they tell time is, and I did some numbers. Google is great. The way they tell time is by growing seasons.
Wikipedia is my god.
Yes, Wikipedia and Google. The way they tell time is by growing seasons. It takes 125 days typically to fully grow the longest growing crops. So their largest unit of time is a season. And then there's multiples of seasons. The season's 125 days.
And we started working the math out on this, by the way.
So the players all are like, okay, anytime Mike says, like, 100 seasons ago I did this, and like that's like 30 years, 33 years. So they were comfortable with that. They were like, okay, we've met people who they're 60 seasons old, they're about 20. They're 120 seasons old, they're 40, they're whatever. And the part I really liked is they started talking to this character who said, when I was very young, about 100 seasons ago or so, and I watched wheels turn, and they went, okay, the character was like 30. And then somebody said, well, when was that? And they said, oh, that was 600 some odd seasons ago. And then I watched everybody go,
what? So John, Eric, L. Swigert, I have no idea what that means, but whoever you are, because you pledged right in the middle of us doing this, the first time that you play Pros and Paragons, if you're a player, the creator, the co-creator of this game and his business partner are officially awarding you 1 bonus resolve. If your GM balks of that, you can email me and I will confirm that you get 1 bonus resolve on your first session playing because you pledged while we were sitting here talking. If in fact you are the game master for your group,
He gets a bonus adversity.
so you get 2 bonus adversity on the first session that you run because the co-designer said when the first session you run, because you pledged right now while we're here, you could start with 2 bonus adversity because you pledged right now. So thank you very, very much for that.
And so they began to realize that character was well over 225, 250 years old, to the point where they could not remember how old they were, and that was just really.
I'm torn between pursuing a relationship with her and pursuing a relationship with our techno wizard, and I'm not sure where I'm going with that. I'm a lapsed Catholic, so Polly's not off the table.
So
I should say my character, Patrick Concora, is a lapsed Catholic. I'm agnostic, so I'm already poly. Which is, by the way, I'm not saying that agnostic equals poly. I'm just saying I'm agnostic and poly.
Oh, by the way, next session you get to find out. Did I tell you guys what Theodore actually means?
Hmm?
The wondrous.
You told us, but I've forgotten.
Gift of God.
Oh, okay.
So Shannon is like, really thinks that everything, including her name, is all an act. Because everything she does is an act.
Yep.
We'll get into that next session. I've been writing a lot of notes for the next session.
So quick break while I explain, because I said I was going to make this online, and I didn't. John, I'm going to answer that in just a second.
It's the.
I'll answer in a second.
Yeah. I'll be right back. Look at this way.
This is an old-fashioned, or what's left of a double old-fashioned, because I finally decided after midnight I get to party a little bit. So actually, when I say it's a big Irish old-fashioned, so take a mixing glass, which is a pint glass, a mixing glass, or whatever. I put a liberal amount of brown sugar in the bottom of the glass. I take simple syrup and pour it over so that it actually covers the brown sugar and a little bit more. A splash of water, and it's just a solid splash, but not too much. A decent amount of Angostura bitters, a little bit more orange bitters, and then basically 2 ounces of bourbon per unit of that. So I went 4 ounces of bourbon on this one for a double. You mull it with the muller, which is like a little masher thing, so that you kind of get a good solid release the crystals. Muddle, not muller. Muddle. You muddle it so that you get a good. You release the flavor in the brown sugar crystals, so they mix in nicely with everything else. And then you stir it pretty hard. If you really want to be hardcore about it, you stir it with ice in the mixing glass, and then you pour it over ice in a rock glass. This is sweet and smooth and very tasty. I shared this with my friend Lee Cambros over here. By the way, when we're done with this, the next thing that's going to happen is just look over on the other camera on the other panel, which I can't. Over here, yeah, there we go. That's my hand. We're going to be doing a round of zombie golf, which is his game that's going on, his Kickstarter. I'm going to be when I get reset of everything, I'm going to put out the link for that. So I'm going to answer John's question.
I know.
Or I'm going to let Michael answer John's question while you keep talking while I go and actually find the link.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, a hardcover is printed by inkjet, and a premium hardcover is printed by offset.
Yes, you are in fact correct on this point.
Which means a premium hardcover will have richer, deeper colors.
Yep.
If that matters.
You are absolutely correct on this point. And what I am pulling up is a link that will let you see images that that Drive Through RPG has put up, because that's who our fulfillment is. Through is Drive Through RPG, and they do a very, very cool. They're the ones that handle all this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. Nope. I'm wrong. I hit the wrong thing. Sorry. I'm going to keep looking. But basically, it comes down to this. If you are fond of content and a decent looking book, standard hardcover is going to do you just fine. If you're really keen on the colors popping, you want that beautiful color in the book to look really, really good, then you are going to want to get the premium because you're going to get a much, much richer thing. I keep saying that because I'm just kind of going on. What is it different about your printed books? Here we go. That's the thing. I'm looking for the link that actually you can look at, and I can't find it. I'm sorry. But I will tell you this. There is an update. Ooh, let me see if I can find the update about that. That actually might help. There's an update that covers this very, very specifically. It's one of the earliest updates that we posted, as a matter of fact. And it's actually in the fact, too. So if you look in the FAQ, or if you look into, here we go. Standard versus premium. I'm just finding that link now, and I'm going to grab that link, and I'm going to post it right there. So I'm about to post a link for you, John, in the face of this. So if you hit that link that I just posted in the window right there, that will give you the full information, including a link so you can see the difference between standard and premium hardcover. The colors are going to pop a lot more. That's really what it comes down to. The quality of the books are not going to be particularly different in terms of like the pages are not going to rip out easier in a standard versus a premium. It's really all about the color and the contrast. That's the answer to your question.
So before we jump into the next project that I also want to, the other one I want to do for to support the Omniverse.
You're such a diva.
There's 3 books that I want to do. I want to do the Corewell of the World book. I want to do Wonder Workers of the Well, and I want to do sort of a Game Master's resource, which would be just NPCs and locations and objects and other such things. All this extra material. Probably some samples of like the player characters. This is what they look like when they were created. This is what they look like when the game ended. That sort of a thing. I'm sorry, I made the mistake of looking at a music video and going, I don't understand what I'm looking at.
It's Imagine Dragons.
It's Imagine Dragons doing their version of Thunder.
Yes.
Okay. Imagine Dragon like Dream Dragon. So maybe we should tell them about the other setting once you.
Yes, let us teach them. So before we break in that, we are now, thanks to John and others, $33,647 with 463 backers. So thank you very much, John, for that, and thank you everybody else. My daughter is still up at 12:36. Don't you have school in the morning?
I was gonna say good night to everyone.
Good night, Samantha.
Good night.
I'll very possibly fall asleep through all the morning laughter, so.
Well, it's because you can take your. Oh, you already have your hearing aids out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you should have no problem going to sleep. Love you.
Don't be alarmed if you hear a very loud blaring sound.
What's the blaring? Oh.
That's my alarm clock.
Oh, that'll be going off. Yeah, at some point while I'm still online. Yes. All right.
So, yeah,
okay, love you. Bye-bye.
That happens. Don't be alarmed. It's my alarm clock.
Good night.
Okay, love you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, so once again, I'm going to point out we've got Lee over here setting up to do his thing. So let's cover Kazei 5, and then let's get on to playing more use games.
Yeah, I have a number of products I want to do for P&PUE. One is an organizational book called the Tarot Council, using tarot cards as its basis. I'm pretty positive that there still isn't really a comic book organization based off tarot cards. There's playing cards. You got the Royal Flush Gang and a few others.
And Zodiac.
Checkmate, and there's Zodiac, and there's a number of people have done Zodiac, including Marvel has one.
Yeah.
But so my first public product ever in gaming came out in 1999, and it was to be honest, originally started because I thought Shadowrun was really cool, but I couldn't understand the rules. And then the more I worked with it, the more I decided I wasn't going to try to do Shadowrun and Champions because I started watching a lot of anime at the time, and I started watching a lot of stuff like Battle Angel, Appleseed, Bubblegum Crisis, Akira, and I said, oh, I kind of want to do this instead. And Bruce Harlick, when I wrote him about it, said this is really awesome. We'll put it out if you can write it. And in 1999, it came out. and it was well received. And then
Kazei 5.
yeah, it was called Kazei 5, Small Military Force 5. And then in 2009, when actually I decided, hey, I should really do this for 5th edition, and I did a very large update. Then 6th edition came around, and I had to update it again for 6th edition. But in 2009, it came out for 6th edition Champions, and it was a beast. It was 320 pages of material, 216,000 words. And then, because I'm a crazy person, I wrote another 80, 90,000 words for something called Kazei 5 System Upgrade. That never got published. If you desperately want to see it, email me and I can give you the Champions version.
It will be part of the Pearls and Paragons version.
But what's going to happen is I need to work with Len and I need to work with Sean. And we have to decide how do we translate what I'm doing, because this is also not a superhero world, but people are on a superhero level. You have people with cybernetic implants, which is, I figure, an interesting way to do boost with a limit. You have cyborgs, which are pretty standardized. You have something called a cyber brain, which is probably buying willpower as an independent stat, because that represents a electronic brain that controls everything. So if you ever watch Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, where the guy... I'm pretty sure he's overthinking a lot of this, but it's going to be freaking... Where he overrides a bunch of people's cybernetics and changes things around. It's like, yeah, that's how you do that. That's how I decided how that would work. There's espers, which, if you've ever seen Akira, you know exactly what they can do. Mind over matter. There's people in what are called apex suits, which, if you've ever seen Bubblegum Crisis, you know what they are. There's exosuits, which is every 9-foot tall mech suit in anime ever. There's genetically augmented people. There's replicated people. You know, if you've ever seen Blade Runner, you kind of know what they are. But this being anime, they all look like cat girls. Our boys. And it is the year 2030, and it is the Second Civil War, and there are 9 separate nations that make up the U.S. and Canada. And it is a
Anime punk,
cyberpunk future that numerous people, in fact, curiously, Sean, there's a guy in a Discord who's in Brazil who wants to run using Champions that game, and he's been talking to me about it.
Tell him he may not ever touch Champions again. It may only ever be Pearls and Paragons.
Well, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to get into that argument with him.
If you're watching this now, there is no Champions, only Pearls and Paragons. I'm wrong. There's no bad fun. If you enjoy Champions, play Champions. But I'm just saying P&P is going to be like easier.
Closest would be Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Persona video. I didn't play those. Cover your ears, Sean. I don't play those. I just play Borderlands 2 all the time.
Borderlands 2!
But
I hate that game.
He's never even played it.
I've never played it.
Wait,
Well, vaguely terrible.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, that Kazei 5 actually is a project that spawned another setting called Shadows Angeles, which I also want to run for Sean, even though I'm creative.
Which he played this.
Yeah, you actually, yeah, it was the weirdest dungeon crawl you've ever been on.
Weird dungeon crawl, but that's what you played tonight, so you didn't get to it till late.
Yeah.
You were playing. Ross Watson is actually the creator, the main creator for Shadows Angeles, and is currently running a Shadows Angeles game, which is why Michael wasn't here tonight, because Shadows Angeles, once it consumes your soul, you are lost in it forever.
So yeah, I played in the first and the second, and I ran a third twice, and I am in a game, and we actually had a really good time. He let me do some. He's doing some of the P&PUE stuff in Champions. It works very well. Actually one of the things that he does, and I want to adapt is, if possible at times, setting up the initial plot seeds and asking the table to fill in the detail. Like, okay, I've given you this much. Where does it go from there? Or going around the table and adding a bit to whatever I've done, and I thought that was really neat. So one of the other products, by the way, I want to do is called Players Write the Best Adventures, which I want to bring in the Evil Beagle team in, and it'll be Evil Beagle's GM's guide. But I think the difference between a lot of other GM's guides is that this one will use anecdotes and stories from GMing to talk about when to roll dice, when not to roll dice, when to let listening to the players, when to let the players contribute to the story. elements like that and things to think about that go beyond the planning and thinking. This is more like things to do at the table when you're running as opposed to when you get ready.
So, by way of establishing some credentials, I was the author of the first and second edition of the Fantasy Role Playing Gamers Bible, which people have been begging me to do a third edition, but I don't actually have the license to do that. I probably could, but there's that. And Ross Watson's done a number of GM advice columns and blog posts. So has Michael. Actually, if you check out Evil Beagle Games and you check out the Beagle's Howl tab at our website, all four of us, myself, Michael, Len Pimentel, and Bill Keys, have all written numerous articles that are in that vein. So we all have a lot of experience with not just doing this, but talking about how to do it and sharing a lot of useful information along those lines. So I'm very excited about Michael's idea, because at this point I don't see that I'm going to have the spoons to do a third version of the Bible anytime soon. But this is going to be, I think, really useful, because quite frankly, if we're not cultivating GMs and their skills, then we are hindering the hobby, and that's been true for 30 years, and it's still true.
Yeah, that's going to be something in the latter half of the year. And my desired 2020 project, Sean, is Fearsome Critters, which is going
Wait,
to be...
I'm the president. You haven't told me about this yet. I'm nervous. What does this mean?
So, well, actually, if you remember Larger Than Life?
I love Larger Than Life.
Yeah, which I'd love. I wonder if I should put it on.
I do. Larger Than Life again.
But I wanted to do a companion book. So Larger Than Life, by the way, for the 13 people left who are awake, 12, 13, is a source book detailing...
I'm going to repost this to YouTube later. Hi, YouTube people. Thank you for watching this after the live stream.
Larger Than Life, for everybody who's watching, is a source book that I did for Champions a number of years back, which details 26 or so archetypical folkloric American figures. Everybody from Blackbeard, whose archetype is the pirate, all the way up to Nikola Tesla, whose archetype is the inventor. And everybody...
You did not steal from me. You stole me from mankind!
Oh, yeah. That's still the single best line in any of those rap battles of history. So the idea was that after doing, character sheets and information on Blackbeard and Davy Crockett and Mike Fink and Jesse James and Sitting Bull and Nikola Tesla and Emperor Norton and John Henry and Paul Bunyan and everybody, I wanted to do a follow-up book called Fearsome Critters, which would look at all the lumberjack, tall tales, animals, hodags, and whirling whippus, and agropelters, and
Cryptozids.
And cryptids, including Bigfoot and Momo and let me think, Stollygasters and all that, and folklore, urban legend creatures.
The Jersey Devil,
and Chupacabras. And that will not be probably won't be for P&PUE because it's probably not. I don't know if you can. I guess you can do it for P&PUE.
I will stab you through the heart 1,000,000 times on live television.
But the research will
totally
be the
for
big part.
P&PUE.
But my intent will be P&PUE, 5th edition D&D, and Savage Worlds Suede. Because once I get done editing,
we're still Suede House, by the way, folks. In fact, we've got very shortly after we wrap this Kickstarter up, we're going to get the Suede operations memo out to all of our fans for Freedom Squadron, so that you have the Suede updates for Freedom Squadron, and then we're putting out the Freedom Squadron recruitment manual, which will have the Suede operations manual in it, but it will also be a full-on starter kit, basically, for people who are interested in Freedom Squadron. I'm totally pimping something else that our company does, but a lot of people have been asking about that, so I thought now would be a good time to mention it.
Also, once I get done with all the Beast in the East for D&D, I want to do that for Savage Worlds as well.
Sorry, we've reached to the point where I'm yawning. I apologize, but I have to push through till 10 o'clock in the morning, so you're going to see a lot of yawns before all this is said and done. So we've covered Kazei 5.
Yep.
We've mentioned pretty heavily Shadows Angelus, which is essentially part of the Kazei 5 universe.
It was, Ross really liked Kazei 5, but he wanted to be more Silent Mobius. And I realized a lot. Sean's like, I don't recognize any of these names, but he wanted to be more like a series called Silent Mobius, so he added magic. And the core concept of Kazei, actually, the Kazei 5, you can be anything you want. You can be X-SWAT or E-SWAT, Appleseed police operatives. You can be power armored vigilantes fighting evil corporations, a la the Night Sabers. You can be independent, like Battle Angel bounty hunters. You can be Shadowrunners if you want to do that sort of living on the criminal fringe type deal. Shadows Angeles, the primary story arc or plot device is that you're all members of X-SWAT, which is a paranormal police force defending the city of Angeles from extra-dimensional, supernatural, paranormal monsters and other strangeness.
The city of Angeles is basically like an island, right?
Yeah, there was a big earthquake. The Great Pacific Earthquake dropped the San Andreas Fault into the ocean, and they created an immense 20 by 30 mile floating city. And this is one of those ones where you're like, how does it stay up? Black.
Yeah, Shadows Angeles was the strangest freaking dungeon crawl I ever did in my life because we ended up in the sewers, like trying to investigate. Was it a murder? I think it was initially a murder.
You actually no. What
No,
it
it
was
was a lot of blood or something.
Okay, so and if I ever run for Friday night, you'll get to play that again, but in P&P. The adventure that I'm going to translate over to P&P with a couple other things and running conventions is called House on Shambles Row. There's a massive amount of symbology in it if you know what you're looking at. A lot of the names all have double, multiple meanings or significant meanings. But the point is that you were investigating an abandoned cul-de-sac, then realized that one of the houses housed a serial killer who was still alive in there, and that he had been dumping everything into the sewage system, but due to the presence of magic and other things, reality had become twisted. And you were trying to ended up realizing you were trying to close a door at the far end of all of this that when you did would seal away or would shut off would seal reality back to normal.
But somebody had to make a sacrifice to do it.
The fascinating thing that was just one of the solutions. The fascinating thing for me is seeing what players do. I've had players be like, nope, we're not doing this. And I've had one survivor because a bunch of people decided, I want whatever's being offered. And another person said no and slammed the door shut and sealed them away outside of reality. And then came back and went, well, I'm the only survivor. It's always fascinating to see how the players in that scenario finally react to the reveal and what they're being given. Because there's a temptation factor. It's pretty wild.
I killed all the monsters and got all the treasure.
Yeah.
I didn't do either of those things.
Well, you actually did destroy a few awful things.
We did destroy a few awful things, yes.
Yes.
All right, so thank you very much, Professor, for having a chat with us tonight.
Oh, no, we got 14 person.
And we have a 14th person logging. So our next thing up, after I reset everything over here, is Lee Cambros is going to be running his zombie golf game for us. And we're going to have a chance to look at that. I'm going to repost the link to his zombie golf Kickstarter. Now, this is a totally different thing. It's not a role-playing game or anything like that, but it is a chance to basically enjoy, as he describes it, all the frustration of golf, all the joy of killing zombies.
All the satisfaction.
All the satisfaction of killing zombies.
Exactly.
So we're going to go ahead and get reset for that. And Michael's going to be hanging out with us for a while. Jennifer's going to be on her way back. Thank you for being here with us in the overnight wee hours of the morning for the 24-hour epic countdown party for the Kickstarter. Did I mention this was a double? Anyway, so we're going to get set up for that. So thank you guys. And again, John, thank you and everybody else who pledged for us just recently. So we're going to reset, let Michael get it settled. And
no. So by the way, Sean, a real quick note, I thought you'd appreciate on the Facebook page for P&PUE Omniverse, I described Kazei 5 being an ode to late 80s, early 90s cyberpunk anime. And one of the replies was, well, you had me at Appleseed, Battle Angel, and Bubblegum Horizons. Very good.
Sorry,
what do you need to do to help clean up? Or get ready?
No, just get ready to play over and play with him.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think he has enough room down there.
Yeah, I'm good. We can plenty of room. Does not require a lot of landscape to play this game.
So are you guys both taking off?
No. I'm here.
Well,
I'm here till 10 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, hell, Brian. Well, welcome and welcome for the insanity. So if you would be so kind as to join Lee down there for his zombie golf demo.
If I knew you were being there, I brought one of my Champions core books and I just signed it.
No,
You out, Brett?
Yeah.
Thank you again, brother.
I'm working on
Probably should get some water.
my settings, so I hope to have something over to you in a few weeks.
Yes. So Brett here, who was playing Chameleon, we didn't get a chance to do the full interview, but he's got to get home now. But he's working on. Go ahead and give us a quick elevator pitch.
Well, it's called Way of the Hero. It is
That's
a
just
4-color anime
No,
and
I'm looking at the artwork
giant
on
mecha
the
versus
card,
giant
and
kaiju
I'm
setting.
impressed.
So it should be a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it's cool.
Play
I
anime
think
superheroes, magical girls,
One of the things that
fight
one of the things that
Godzilla.
I've
You know,
noticed in all
that
the
kind of
games
thing.
that Kickstarter's been
I am
putting
so
out
stoked
is
about
that
this.
They don't take
So yeah, I told you we guys have a ton of really great support
Right.
material.
That's not my art.
All right,
That's-
and Brett, by the way, go ahead
Yeah,
and pitch your
that's gonna be
where your stuff is, or your currently professionally published stuff is.
trying very
Oh,
hard to get a
you can
certain
find my
feel
stuff at
in the
brettbaker.ws
The one thing
or
I would
royalcrownpress.com. I also
Wingspan
write
was a good idea.
novels.
Was a really
Yeah,
good
mostly
idea.
sci-fi.
They followed
The latest
through
one
with
is
it.
sci fantasy. It's the
They've
start of a new series
Wonderful
called Song of the
artwork.
Multiverse.
It makes the whole
Royal
game work
Press-
so much better.
Royal
Royal
Crown
Crown
Press.
RoyalCrownPress.com. Check it out because he's a really great storyteller. He's the one who's keeping it straight in the ATF
well-designed
stuff because he keeps posting all these
thing.
fantastic recaps. He's a very, very talented writer. You need to check out his stuff.
Entirely different.
Exactly.
Good night, brother.
It looks like it
I'm
looks
actually
like
going to post that link so that when people watch this on YouTube later, they will see it. Brett Baker's fiction.
I am so impressed with Sean's ability to take pure characters and turn them into his own.
Oh, Corinne.
Corinne does all that.
I advise Corinne does the work. She is the artist.
I could show you a painted miniature of mine, but you would instantly look at it and go, yeah, okay, you're sure you didn't have your kid do this, some years ago.
Oh, I can't paint for anything.
I
my
can't
friend.
paint. I
cannot
can't paint
for
at
anything,
all.
but she has an amazing talent and a gift for it.
I'm very impressed with the. I'm going to buy old Kickstarter things, and I'm going to start getting my daughter. My daughter's an artist, and so I'll put her to the sword and say, hey, make this work.
So I'm going to turn this down a couple of notches just so
Sounds
that
good.
you have a little bit more, we got a little louder than I expected to.
So you were going to run a combat system after this.
We supposedly think so, yes. Well,
Okay.
what I was going to do is let people start going into other parts of the world to fight out, vignette battles for the rest of the battle against the.
Well, I would like to offer you a chance to play in your own campaign,
Okay.
and I would like to introduce a situation to them. There is no way this situation can be finished tonight. I can only do the prelude for them, and the prelude will end with the whole idea of having another game afterwards.
No, that sounds fantastic. So let's look into that. Lee, go ahead and take over and tell us about your name.
Okay, so this is Zombie Golf. This game was designed when I was driving in the car thinking about my dad and how he loved golf and how terrible I was. And my inability to finish Walking Dead after season 3 because everybody turned on themselves. Nobody was about humanity. And in my head, because I have my issues, the phrase and tagline, zombie golf, all the frustration of golf, all the satisfaction of killing zombies came in. And that's essentially what this game is about. This is not about surviving the zombie apocalypse, though the family golf outing expansion will add more story elements to it and a cast of characters to go along with you.
Cool.
It's about determining who is the best golfer at the zombie apocalypse. Because
cool.
that's an answer that it's a question people don't ask, and it's an answer we all need to have.
So I understand.
I don't know if that was a question that needed answer.
It does. You don't know you need the answer, but you need that answer.
Yeah.
So the idea is in zombie golf, you pick one of 4 golfers. There's 2 men and 2 women. And each one of them has a different set of boosts and bonuses based on if they're on the fairway, on a hazard, or if they're putting. They also have an ability they can use once per hole. So, for instance, I'm looking at Mike, the Puttmaster's stakes, and what he can do is he has +6 on the fairway, and he can also immediately just move to the chipping box and try to chip onto the wall. The beautiful thing about this game is you really don't need to know anything about golf. All the terms will be explained at the front end. and then it tells you how to golf through using a D12.
Well, so I got to play myself.
So you're going to play that guy. All right. Who would you like to play?
Seeing as my name is Mike, I should play the guy named Mike.
That sounds good. And you are playing. What's the name of your character? On the bottom there?
Carolyn, Haunted Hose.
Yes. All right. So there you are. And I am going to play Dale Acted. Now, on the final cards, these cards will actually on the backs have a full history of bio. They don't have them right now, but they will have a full bio for each golfer, so you'll know exactly who you're playing and why.
Cool.
And that is the idea. I don't know if Sean is joining us or not, so I will think we're gonna.
Sean, are you making drinks or anything?
Sorry, what?
Are you making drinks or
I
anything?
can make drinks.
I could use something to drink.
Do you have a preference?
Not right now. Just something to get the scratchiness out of my throat.
Okay. If you don't mind, Lee, I'm going to just sort of commit and observe.
Okay, that is
I
fine.
brought
That's fine.
dried
a
off
whole fire.
amber
I
ale.
understand. So the
Like
first
ale. Take a sip of this.
hole we're going to be doing is called the eye socket, and we are golfing at Demon Sands Country Club.
Cool.
This is the first hole. I don't know if anyone can see it, but there are some pictures up on the Kickstarter, and I'll be putting some more up there. So the way this game works is first we roll the dice to see who goes first.
12.
12. The lowest roll will go first.
Oh, well, okay.
So
5.
And that was cocked, an 11. So you'll be going first.
Okay.
So the first thing we determine is where you're going to tee off from. There are the far tees, which is a 1, and the near tees. But before we do that, we have to pick a bag. There are 4 bags with your golf clubs. There are 2 copies of the Basher bag because I misprinted and I did not print off the party bag, unfortunately. So we have 2 copies of the Basher bag. The Basher bag is designed. It's more about killing zombies than it is about the golf. The way these clubs all work is there's for instance, a driver here with 2 clubs that gives you +2 on your golf roll, or +3 against zombies. Each club also has a number. That number that you can only use that club on a location on the thing that's equal to or less than that number. Okay. So, for instance, the driver can only be used on a fairway location of 3 or less.
Okay.
So I couldn't use the driver on fairway location 7. It's just not a good swing. It wouldn't work.
Okay.
All right. So the other thing that all bags have is an ability. The Basher bags, all attacks get +2 damage when you attack a zombie. When we get to the zombie part, I'll show you how that works and how that affects you. So this is about killing zombies. The Ninja bag is also about killing zombies, but it works differently. It has an ability that you can use once per turn, once per hole, that allows you to kill 2 zombies ninja style, but you have to take a frustration. So if we look at our character cards, you'll see at the top of the character card you have a toughness rating and a frustration. Every time you roll a 1, you take a frustration. Every time you end up in a hazard, you could take 1 or more frustration. When you hit your frustration, you rage quit and leave the game because you can't handle the golf anymore. Okay? When you kill a zombie, you recover a frustration. And they're at the top there.
Cool.
And they have that very funny image of a guy grabbing his head like he's going to rip out his hair. The idea again is you're trying not to rage quit. If you hit your toughness in wounds, you die. But you don't turn into a zombie. There are only 4 zombies in this game, in this deck here, that can actually bite you and turn you into a zombie. And when you turn into a zombie, you don't turn into a zombie until the hole is completed. So it is possible to win the game and then turn into a zombie. So you can still be the best golfer in the apocalypse, but end up dead end part of the zombie apocalypse, as it were. So, which bag would you like? The last bag we have is the high-end bag. The high-end bag is all about golfing. With this one, you get to reroll all your golf swings, and you get to lower any break values when you're fighting a zombie by 1. So the clubs are a little bit more fragile, which means they can break a little bit easier, but at the same time, you've got high-end bag. You've got the high-end bag.
Based on the artwork, he seems to be really all about golf.
So you're going to take the high-end bag?
I'm going to take the high-end bag.
Very good. Which one would you like, sir?
We'll try the wood bag.
The Ninja bag. He's going for the Ninja. And I'm going to take the Basher.
So as a side note, I think this is actually kind of funny because for a while there, me and some friends of mine back in Maryland, we would do 3 and 4 player Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2, because Left 4 Dead 2 introduced melee weapons. And it was 4 players versus a zombie apocalypse. And one of the melee weapons was a golf club.
Well, there you have it.
And you, in fact, could get an achievement for lopping off, like, I think it was 18 heads. You had to get 18 kills with the golf club, and you got an achievement.
Then you got an achievement. All right. So these are the family golf landing clubs. We're not going to use these on the first hole because I don't have a ton of these cards printed yet.
Okay.
We're going to use these on the second hole, and I'll explain how that works and kind of show you how that works. Okay. But for now, you get to go first. So do you want now the difference between the near tee and the far tee is the far T only gives you a 1. So the way this works is you would roll a dice. You first have to announce all your bonuses before you swing. So for instance, if I was going to tee off and I was on the far tee, or the men's tee as they're also called, I would take my +9 from golfing on the fairway because it's a white tee. And it's white on my card there. And then I'm going to say I'm going to use my driver for +2. So that gives me +11. I also get to add the location I am on the fairway. So I get to add 1. So I'm at +12. Then I would roll the dice, a 3. +12 gives me a 15. Then I'd come over here and I'd find the 15, and then I'd put my marker there.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I end up on an 11, that's a hazard. I'm out of bounds. I would take a frustration for that. If I ended up in the 16, that's a hazard. If I end up in some of these over here, this is called blood sand. The blood sand bites at your feet as you're swinging. So not only do I take a frustration, but when I swing, I take a wound.
Oh,
and then there's other ones as well. Brain swings, there's a zombie swamp that adds. So basically, that's how you golf. So that's the simple way to go. So let's first have you go ahead and determine what bonuses you're going to use from there. And remember, you're golfing from the 1 or the 3. You have to choose which one you're golfing from. If you golf from the 3, you start off with a bigger bonus. But if you roll a 1 or a 2, you end up on the closest hazard. Let's face that one.
Well, let's try that one.
All right, you're going to go from the 3. Very good.
From the 3.
And what clubs and bonuses are you using?
We will use the 3 wood.
Okay, so that gives you +2, and then you're going to use your
+8.
+8 there.
+8 to 1 swing.
So that gives you.
I'm sorry, +5.
No, that's your special ability. You can use that and add an additional +5.
Oh, okay.
So you get +8,
+8,
and +2 for that. So you're at +10, +3 for the location. So you're at 13 to start with.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll the dice. Now the beautiful thing is when you roll a 12, it's a perfect shot.
Oh.
Now the other thing is because we're on a par 3, you have a chance for a hole in 1. If you roll that dice again and you get an 11, you win the hole and we're done. And we go on to the next hole. That's a 9. Unfortunately, you were on the green, but you did not get a hole in 1. But still, you were on the green. Nicely done. Cool. The other good thing for you is you get to fight a zombie now.
Cool.
So our first zombie is the Herd card, a special event. Add 1 zombie per player to the horde. Zombies attack unless the players take fatigue. So each one of us will get attacked unless we take a frustration from the herd. So the first thing that happens is that goes to the discard, and we put 3 zombies out. So we end up with another herd. So now we're putting 6 zombies out. All right, and an amazing chip. So you get this because that's an amazing chip that you get, and it's your turn. And now our first zombie, and so that's 2 cards. So we need to do 4 more cards. The first zombie we get is pockets. The second zombie we get is Granny. And I'll read these off as we get them. Another amazing chip for you. Nicely done.
Cool.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more, I think is where we're at.
We had to have 6 zombies total.
6, yes, but you draw 6 cards. And that's what, so the cards come
1,
out.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you got the...
Right. But this pile of skulls forces us to do something else. Pile of skulls, all zombies, draw 2 zombies, or the horde is empty. So what this means is these 2 zombies are now biters. If when you roll, your total attack is a 5 or less, you're going to turn into a zombie at the end of the turn. Okay. Because you were bitten. Now, one of the things that happens is you got on the green first, so you immediately get a trophy.
Oh, cool.
So your first trophy is you get the virtual putter. Which gives you a bonus to your putting. So you can lower any putt and do things like that. So that's going to help you succeed at the hole.
Okay.
All right. So now you have to fight a zombie. Now, these are in row 1. As zombies come out, the next player goes, these would move down. If they have a 2 in here, they would stay in the second row. If they have a 1, they'd roll off because this is a walker.
Okay.
Granny's slow. You can get away from Granny.
Okay.
But the shamblers, they take longer to get away from. Now, will you kill a zombie? So you have to get over their wounds. Roll the dice, plus adding the bonus. You can pick any club. But the problem is if you don't kill the zombie and you roll under their break number, your club breaks. And then you can't use it for anything.
Okay.
Unless you find a replacement in the trophy deck. So, if you kill Pockets when he's in row 1, you actually get a second trophy. If you kill Granny, you don't get anything. But if you don't kill Granny, you immediately take 2 frustration.
Okay.
So, who would you like to attack? And you can also take an additional combat swing for a frustration. So you could attack both these guys if you want.
Okay.
If they don't die, then they attack you. If they roll under their attack number, they do a wound to you. That's all it is. And in this case, they could turn you into a zombie.
All right. Well, I think Pockets needs to go.
Pockets needs to go. So you go ahead and take the D12. Which club are you going to use?
That's what I was looking at. Now,
The
what
more-
number do we use here?
The zombie skulls. The number of zombie skulls.
So it would
Three.
be.
That's a +3. Don't worry about that number. This is +3.
okay.
Just the zombie. That one's +2. That one's +2. That one's +1. That one's +1.
Okay.
So which
So
one would you like to use?
use the
Or
bug
you
iron.
could use your ninja power and kill them both.
Yeah, but I think of fatigue. So let's just go ahead
Okay.
and
So go ahead and roll and add 3 to that roll.
9.
+3 is a 12. You kill Pockets.
Cool.
Pockets dies, and you get a trophy for killing Pockets.
Oh, cool.
Lucky you. Which is additional clubs.
Oh, cool.
And now, do you want to attack Granny? Take a fatigue and take Granny, or just have her attack?
No.
Okay, so Granny will just attack you. I'll go ahead and roll that for you. So if I roll under a 5, you'll take a wound.
Okay.
I rolled a 5. You do not take a wound. I have to roll under.
Cool.
So Granny hangs out, and now it is your turn to golf, sir.
All right. So, let me see if I understand it. So I'm going to use my driver, and it has
Sure.
3 clubs.
So that gives you +3.
3.
What location do you want to use from here?
We'll go from there, which
From
is,
the near tee. So go ahead and put yourself on the 3.
and that's a total of +6.
Right, and then you also have your skill here.
Plus
Gives you
6. So I'm at
more, so you're
+12.
+12. So now go ahead and roll
All
the
right,
dice.
so I'm at +12.
Oh, 1 is a flub.
Mm-mm.
You flub the hit. You take a frustration
Oh,
immediately.
boy.
You stay on the spot you are at. And we are going to shuffle this deck a little better. And you get a Pockets. So Granny moves down to row 2, and because she has a 1, Granny rolls off.
Cool.
Pile of Skulls rolls off with her, and you have a Pockets to fight. So you have to pick a club.
I'm going to grab my 5-iron because it's got 3 heads on it.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll
Oh,
that.
wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Before I take my frustration,
Mhm.
I can re-roll golf swings.
Oh, go ahead and reroll your golf swing. 4. So we were at 12 plus
16.
16. So 16 puts you in the water. So what
I still get a
happens is
frustration.
you still get a frustration for ending up in a hazard, and because you're in the water, you actually end up drop down to the 15. That's where you end up because you have to
Okay.
drop because you go in the water.
Okay.
So that's what happens with the water hazard.
And am I in? No, I'm not in.
You're not in. That's a green, so
That's
you're
green.
fine. If it was yellow,
And that's it's hard for me to tell the difference in the colors, but that's still white.
yes, that's still white.
Okay.
So, but now you have to fight Pockets.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to grab the 5-iron,
Alrighty. And
which
now you're
has 3 heads.
3 heads, so you're going to roll the dice and add 3 to it.
Oh, just okay. That's it.
That's all you got to do. And you just have to break a 5. You have to
9.
6, so 9. You kill Pockets. It's
Okay.
not hard to kill zombies
Okay.
with a golf club. All right, so now I'm
No
going to
trophies.
No, because you hit a hazard.
Okay.
So there is a trophy for the first one on the green and the longest drive. So right now he's got the longest drive because he got on the green. So unless I get on the green right away, I don't see that happen, which is possible if I were to get an 18. So I'm going to start with a 3 as well. Dale's got a +9, and I'm going to use my driver for +2. So that gives me 11, 14.
What time is it? Oh, jeez.
And I rolled a 1 as well.
Nothing open for food.
Waffle House.
So
Waffle House?
Oh, you're talking about for delivery?
Just go and get something, and bring it back.
Right.
How hungry are you? You see if you'll eat one of the things I brought.
all right. So
I'm not supposed to eat them. So.
I flubbed it. I stay where I'm at.
Oh, you don't get to reroll.
I don't get to reroll because I don't have that bag. And so I stay on the 3. I flubbed my shot. I take a frustration, and I drew an amazing putt. So my turn's over.
Actually,
Uh-huh.
so the bag gives. I don't. Okay, so my ability is to move the chipping. I don't know what the chipping box is.
So you can go to the chipping box right here. So what the chipping box is instead of having to roll to get onto the green, you'd have to get over a 20 on your next swing.
That's too much sugar for me.
You'd have to go over a 20, but less than a 26 or a
okay.
27. Or you can just say, I go to the chipping box, and then you just have to roll under an 11
Oh, okay.
with your chip. And the thing is you'll notice that some of the clubs have an X instead of just a club. That means you can do plus or minus.
Oh, like sandwich and
Sandwich
putters.
and putters, you can do plus or minus.
What is the number all the way here?
That number indicates where on the hole you can use that club. So, for
okay.
instance, I can't use my driver on the 7 because it's only got a 3.
So this has a 5,
So you could use, if you can find a 5 on here, you could use that club. So you could use that 5 there.
and anything less than 5.
Anything less than 5. You could
so
use it on a 6 or an 8.
5-iron is 24 or less. Sandwich
Right.
is 22 or less.
Right, exactly.
I don't know why those numbers are there, but okay.
They're
Because I don't play golf either.
Right, exactly. And they're
I
basically
play miniature golf.
Well, that's the idea, and they're basically there to give people an idea of where you should use your clubs. That's
Okay.
basically why they're there. All right. So we are done with that. We've gone around once, so now it is your turn, sir.
Okay.
You get to try and putt in. So in order to putt in, you need to be within 2 of this number on this die. And you can use your putter, and you can subtract or minus. You can add
So
or
I'd be
subtract
within
with
2.
9 or 13. So this is a putting target of 11. You need a 9 to a 13 to putt in, and your putter lets you add or subtract 2. Now, there's 2 modifications you can do in the rules. They're hybrids, if you will. There is putt master or master golfer, where you roll 2d6, and you can actually really want to play with the probability of what you're rolling. But then, if that's the case, you only use 1 golf bonus when you roll 2d6, because you're really going to play probability.
Right, because you're going to average 7.
Right, exactly. Now, the other thing is you can play horde mode, where you draw 2 zombies per player. That goes fast. People die quickly.
What are the white numbers?
The white numbers indicate where on the
green.
In the case of this one, you're on the green. You have to use the putter.
Okay, have to use the putter. Yeah. Okay, cool. So,
and you have a +1 right now to putt, and you need to get between a 9 and a 13. So you can use. You don't have to use all your bonuses.
Well, actually, it says on the green I can roll +10
to get on the green. I think it is. That's when you're on. This one says you can when you're putting, you can remove a bonus after you roll. So you could say I'm going to use +2, and then that messes you up. You can remove it after the roll if you would like.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
That's a question. I'm going to use a putter, so let's.
So is it plus or minus 2? What would you
plus
like
or minus 2.
It's your choice.
I'll raise it.
I'm going to go +2. All right, go ahead and give it a roll.
Yeah. It says lower any putt by 4.
Oh, you've got the trophies to use. Yes, that's right.
Or raise it by 3.
Right.
So do I have to decide? Like, I have a 3 putter with 3 X's. Do I have to decide before I roll with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Unless you have an ability that lets you do something different.
I misread the bottom here. Let's go lower.
Okay, you're going to go lower?
Yeah, and we'll lower any putt by 4.
Okay. You can use these trophies after the fact.
Okay.
Trophies you can use after.
Cool.
So go ahead and roll.
So
right now you're needing to get between 9 and a 13.
Okay. So I can only re-roll my golf swings once per hole.
Yeah. So you use that ability.
Oh, okay. We'll play that card.
No, you don't need the chip. Oh, you don't need this. You're not chipping. You're
putting.
Okay. There is an amazing.
No, I didn't break anything.
Oh, is there?
No. Put it on your ability to show you used it this hole. That's all.
Okay.
So 4 minus, and you did -2, which is that puts you at a 2. So that is not enough to make your putt. So your putt went wide.
Okay.
Basically how that works. And you missed your putt, and look what you just got though. Next round. Now you can also burn one of these to re-roll that if you would like. If you burn one of these cards and discard it, you can re-roll that immediately. Any golf roll. Just gives you the ability to do stuff. I want to try again because this was supposed to be your zombie, but instead you got a special event. So the next turn you could use that to just put it in the hole.
Okay. Well, we'll just wait till next turn.
And you're up.
These
so you're hitting from 15.
These don't go away.
Okay, so
at the end of the hole, you'll have to discard 1.
Okay.
All right, so I have nothing. I have no special cards to play, unlike
him. He's getting them all. Yeah,
getting them all. I can't re-roll anything.
Right, but you're starting with 15. You need to get over a 20, but less than 26. So you basically need a 21 to a 25.
All right, so sandwich and putter, I don't think really makes sense.
Not in this case, no. I would say maybe a 5-iron with +3 there.
Actually, 4 irons gives me a plus. No, 5-iron gives me +3, and 4-iron gives me +3.
Okay.
4-iron is 18 or less, and 5-iron is anywhere.
So you're on 15. So you can use either one.
I'll use the 4-iron.
All right. And then you're going to use your swing bonus as well.
Which is
+6. So
is that white? It's white. Right. So I have a base +9.
+9. So that's going to put you, but just so you know, 9 + 5, that's going to put you at 23. Okay. So if you roll too high on that dice, you're going to end up in hazard again. So maybe not use all your bonuses.
No.
So maybe just use your club and not use your swing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So we're just going to go with a +3. And he flubs it again.
And I don't get to re-roll.
And you don't get the re-roll this time. So you get another frustration. The other thing that happens when you have a frustration, I forgot about this, is you can only use one golfing bonus anyway because you're frustrated. You can't use multiple ones anyway. So you've loved the roll. You are stuck where you are, and we get a
The zombie shows up.
And the zombie is Brenda. Brenda's my favorite zombie. Brenda was great. Everybody loved Brenda. She was the life of the party. As a zombie, she sucks. Nothing worse than Brenda on the golf course. So when Brenda runs into you, they will knock you into the closest hazard behind you. So she literally will move you on. She hasn't hit you yet, so you get a chance to attack her first.
So I go to 14.
If she hits you, but first you get a chance to kill her. So you need to roll over a 7 to kill her.
Well, I've got the 4-iron in my hand, the 5-iron in my the 4-iron in my hand. So,
So
it's
you
3
might as
skulls.
3 skulls. Go ahead.
So
A 1.
Wow.
That is a miss.
and
another frustration for you. You are
what happens
close.
when I hit total? I'm gonna rage
You
quit.
rage quit. You're very close to
I'm
rage
gonna go
quit.
find a McDonald's.
Now
and
you can
burger.
also just skip a swing if you will, and then you can recover up to 2 fatigue or fatigue and a wound, any combination, 2 or whatever. Now Brenda's going to attack you.
So fatigue and frustration are the same thing.
I'm sorry, I keep saying fatigue. It's another term. Frustration is the only.
Oh
term.
wow! I just got hit by Brenda.
No, Brenda missed you. I rolled an 11. She needed a
she
9.
died less.
So she missed you. So good for you. All right, now let's see if I can get off the tees. Cannot.
Oh, jeez.
We need a different D12.
The D is killing me.
Reach over there and get the
I got
get
one.
the oh, okay, you got one.
I got him. I'm good. We can each have our own. That way we can. There's a black one.
No, I don't think that one.
There's a purple one.
I haven't had a problem with it.
You've been having fine with it. All right. So I have also not gone anywhere, and I get a zombie now too, and I get 2 zombies to fight. So the second zombie comes out. Oh, I get an amazing chip, so I only have to fight Brenda. Lucky me. All right. So I am swinging with my driver. So Brenda has a +3 on this dice. 4 + 3 is a 7. That is not enough to kill her.
Ooh.
It is only leaves her there, but I don't break my club because I was higher than a 5. So now Brenda gets to attack me. Who would like to roll for Brenda attacking me?
Oh, great.
I'll
Do
do
it
it.
3.
I'll break in the new die by seeing if Brenda can hit you.
Exactly.
Brenda rolls a
Brenda
12.
misses completely. All right. So if you take a wound, just so you know, you have to roll twice and take the worst of the result for whatever you're trying to do. It's to you, sir. Would you like to try to putt? You can try to putt and then play that card, or you can just play that card and win the hole.
I will just play the card.
All right. So you won the hole. You won the first hole. Good for you. Nicely done. Pull everybody's things off of there.
Cool.
So we won. You won the
So
first hole.
we don't have to play out.
Right. We don't have to play out, but we do have to kill Brenda.
Okay.
Because Brenda hangs out. So Brenda moves down to row 2, and it's your turn to attack Brenda. So see if you can kill her. She's got a 7. She needs an 8 or higher on the dice. So what club are you going to use to attack her?
Yes, we're going with a sand wedge.
You're going to use the sand wedge. Roll +1. All right. Roll the dice. The sand wedge has 1 skull. So
Let's go 2.
no, 2 golf balls, 1 skull.
Oh.
Skulls for zombies.
Oh, hell, I used 5.
All right. Go ahead and swing and add 3.
Okay.
You want to break a 7.
Oh.
6 + 3 is a 9. Brenda dies. All right. So the hole's completed. That's yours. And then we
Okay.
get a new hole out.
Oh, cool. Cool. That's how you tell
And
me.
we
That's-
wins all.
how many of these
I like
do we
that.
play through?
Well, you can play. There's a 3-hole game or the 9-hole game.
Okay.
And that's basically, so we can play the 3-hole game because it is late. I get that.
Yeah, okay.
But that's fine. So you have honor, sir, because you got the first one.
Okay.
You won the first hole. You can golf or you can give it to someone else. You want to go first or you want someone else to go?
You go first.
All right, I will go first. All right, thank you, sir. Now, because we got past the hole, we both get to lose a frustration.
Okay.
And
And I've taken broken club off. my
right, because you get any abilities that you have to pick one of these trophies to discard. I'm going to start from the far tee this time, because the near tees were not helping me at all. All right, and now this time we're also going to add in the element of the family golf round. So what that means is we're going to add a cast of characters that are hanging around watching us play golf, and also some story cards. So I'm going to shuffle the 2 cards that I have and play that one as the story card that's active. It is the end of the world party. It's the end of the world as we know it, and everyone is grown. So everyone gets to take a free attract and then lose a frustration. But your next golf swing is at +or -3, your choice. So that will stay out here, and I'm going to choose the good side. Now, the thing about these cards is the next hole we played, I would either have to make it a bad side or roll to see if I can make it a good side. But you can't have two of the same thing, more than two of the same things in a row. So at some point, a bad thing will happen.
Okay.
And the bad things I'll read off just so you know what a bad thing is. If this one was a bad story, the drunks all got bitten. Now we have drunk zombies. Add zombies to the horde. And at the bottom of this, you'll see that there's actually a zombies rating and a cast rating. That's the number of people in the cast that have to be on the table to start with. And that's the number of zombies that immediately get added to the horde. So if this was bad, it would be a 6. So what this does is that this one says 6. So what's going to happen is we're going to add 6 zombies to the horde immediately.
Do you guys see how hysterical this game is?
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh my god, this thing is nuts!
So a pile of skulls comes out, and that's going to change things. And so that's 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards, and 6 cards. All right, so some of the new zombies that have shown up, let me just read off what they say. First is Messy Bob. He's not that fast, but he's moaning, and the stench is really, really bad. Swing at these guys the wrong way, and they will explode all over you. If you hit a Messy Bob with an attack of higher than 12, the 12 of higher, he blows up and gives you 2 frustration because you're covered in zombie guts.
Mike, hit that one.
No.
Only hit that one.
The Zoomers.
Get zombie guts all over you, dude.
The Zoomers are running like they overdosed on speed. These screaming zombies smash into you and scratch at you as they push you
Raid
out.
zombies.
And the last one is Tracksuit. They ran when they were alive, and now they scream and never stop. They run into everything, and they run as they run towards the end of the world. The thing about the Zoomer and the Tracksuit are they are running zombies. They never fall off.
Okay.
They will stay out here till you kill them.
Okay.
So we have a lot of zombies to kill. But first we get to golf. All right.
First, we get to golf. Are you guys hearing this?
That's
So
important.
for everybody still watching,
That's important.
we need to make enough money that I can convince Lee to add head crabs to this.
Actually, there's one of the plans I have for the one of the expansion golf courses is to add monsters to that golf course. It's like because it's going to be modeled after St. Andrews. It's going to be called St. Plagueis. And St. Plagueis will have like trolls under the bridge, things like that, in addition to zombies.
Head crabs.
You know,
it has to have head crabs.
Head crabs.
And if you don't know what head crabs are, they are the
better.
infamous creatures
Okay.
that create zombies in
If you were
Half-Life.
to go ahead and futz with what they could do.
Jesus,
Right.
you're such a
And
Half-Life
that's
fan.
Futz with these things and that.
Right. Uh-huh. And that's one of the other things. One of the other
Michael would
expansions.
marry Half-Life if he could.
One of the other
You
expansions.
know what I'm talking about.
One of the expansions I'm looking to do
Oh
is
wait,
called
no, it's the other
the
guy.
Groundskeeper, and it's a card that goes behind. It goes.
Oh,
everybody
I like that.
Goes around every turn, and the Groundskeeper has a power. It's like 5 powers, and you get to pick what the power that you can use to help you or hinder one of your opponents. Some of the other cards are going to be handicap cards. They have a bonus on one side, a hindrance on the other. You can use it for yourself or play it against somebody.
Zombie gopher.
Zombie golfer would
Because-
definitely be one. Absolutely.
Because let's face it, what is the golfing? What is the funniest golfing movie we've ever done?
Caddyshack, exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, in honor of Caddyshack, inside the trophy deck is the rocking bed with the quadraphonic speakers. There's also an ice cooler bag. There's beer bottles that you can use. To
So
kill
wait.
them.
Can you have an event where lightning strikes and like blows up a zombie or fries a golfer and gives him more damage?
I never thought of it, but yes, I could certainly
There you
add that in. That could certainly
That's
be part of the. That could certainly be
You
when the
need a priest
groundskeeper.
zombie that gets
The
hit. by lightning.
groundskeeper could add several special events like that. Absolutely. So anyway, the other thing we get to pick is we get to pick a cast member. So since you get to go first, you get to pick which cast member. Now the thing about the cast members is each one has a power, and they also have these colors. And the thing about the colors are, if you have the most blue people, you get bonuses to your
Good early morning,
to your
Richard.
golf. If you have the most yellow characters, you get bonuses you get to draw equipment and stuff like that. The most red, you get bonuses to combat. And the most green, you get to change your putts and your chips.
Calling what do they call it on the green when like a marshal throws up and says everybody needs to like pause for a second?
Right? No, I'm not sure.
Whatever that is, somebody's waving flag. I just want to say good morning to Richard Brown and a few others who are tuning in. If you're just now tuning in, my very good friend Lee Cambros, who came by and played in our big epic event earlier this tonight or earlier last night actually, because we are literally talking about last night now.
Yes, we are.
Lee played Bocephus Durango, the Texas Ranger cowboy battle suit, along with our good friend Glenn Thain in the green, who played Arcano, the same character he played at Genghis Khan, and the Professor, Michael Surbrook. The three of them are currently demonstrating zombie golf, which you can see. I think I'm pointing at. I can't figure. Yeah, so that's the thing. So I'm going to put the link up again for zombie golf. That is Lee's Kickstarter that's going on right now. This is a really hysterical game. I'm enjoying the hell out of just listening to them play this game. Because
right.
Michael and
so the characters we have for this one are Carrie the Teenager, who allows you to take 2 frustration but gain +5 to your swing because she's making you angry.
Yeah.
The twins, they're very cute and helpful, but they pull pranks.
It's okay.
So you can steal characters from any other player with them. And Vic, the boyfriend, he seems young, but not that young. The comb over gives it away. You can nullify any other character's power. Now, the thing about you and Vic, all right. The other thing, which one would you like? Would you like the twins, or would you like Carrie the Teenager? The twins.
It's like the twins.
We want the twins. There you go. All right. And I will take Carrie the Teenager. All right. So now the first thing we say is who has the most blues? We are tied for blues, so nobody gets blues.
Okay.
Because you don't have one. Who has the most reds? You two are tied for reds, so nobody gets that.
How
And who has the most yellow?
much time for red?
He's got 1 red. You got 1 red.
Okay.
So next round, there's some additional characters. We put 3 more characters out, and then they would keep going. So the idea is that you have a cast of people, your family's with you, whatever. Now the thing about these characters too is if you're about to get hit, if a wound, if a zombie hits you for a wound, you can kill these characters.
Cool.
And if you flip it over, you have a dead character card. And the dead character does something entirely different. And it does it one time, and then they go away in the discards. So, for instance, if Carrie were to die, each player can remove a zombie from the horde when they take a frustration. This is a choice and can be done multiple times. So, killing Carrie is not necessarily a bad thing if we have this many zombies on there.
Vic is,
So this one says put 1 character from any player back in the deck to kill 3 zombies. So I could take.
You could take my character and get rid of her, put her back in the deck,
And then get rid of
3 zombies. So you'd basically be messing with my ability to do stuff.
Vic is, well, no one misses him as much as the zombies do.
Mm-hmm.
Every time an ability is used as a whole, Vic died, add 1 zombie to the horde.
So if you start using abilities, more zombies show up.
Mm-hmm.
So it changes the game. It also has a little bit of a story because we met all these characters at the end of the world party. So,
Great.
all right. So now I'm going to try and golf here. So I'm going to use my +9 because I'm teeing off. I'm going to use +2 for my driver. And I'm going to add +1 from where I'm at on the tee. And that's going to give me a total of 12. +12 on the dice. And +2 gives me a 14. So I come up here and I look, and 14 is in a hazard. Lovely. So I'm actually in the blood sand. So the blood sand gives me +1 frustration. And when I swing, I will take a wound. My next swing, I take a wound. Now, the good news is we also get another zombie for the horde, which is another messy Bob. And I need to attack some of these guys. Now, I have a frustration of 8. So I'm going to probably swing at one of these bad boys, and then I'm going to take a frustration and swing at another one just to try and thin out the herd a little bit. This is how this particular expansion changes the game. It really gets vicious. You don't need to play in horde mode because these cards will turn the horde against you very, very quickly. So I'm going to try and hit a zoomer. I need an 8. I'm going to use my 5 iron for +3. Hope I roll well. An 11. I killed the zoomer. So that zoomer dies. All right. And then I'm going to take a frustration because I have a frustration of 8, so I can take a lot of them. And I'm going to kill another zoomer because I don't want to hit a messy Bob because I'm sure I would get a 12 and take more frustration. So I'm going to take that and use my 5 iron again for +3. And 11, that kills this other zoomer. So I just killed 2 zombies.
Nice.
I feel, that I ended up in the blood sand, so that's not something. All right. And now it is your turn.
Do you get
I do not get a trophy. Oh, you do get a trophy for the first zombie kill. You're right. I forgot about it. I always forget about that one.
Okay.
So I get this. So I got the type Super G golf balls. Basically, if you roll an 11 or 12, you roll into a hazard, but otherwise they give you you get to the highest if you're short. Like that 14 I would have been able to go to the 15.
Okay.
Would have let me do that, but unfortunately it didn't work. So go ahead.
Think about something that can give you not a trophy, but maybe a spectator.
Oh no, there are going to be cards that let you take additional, like one of the abilities when you get additional golf boat, when you win the blue, you get to take additional cast member.
Oh,
so that's where those abilities will come in.
So let's just say on the far.
You're going to go on the far T for +3.
Sure.
Okay? And you have no fatigue, so you can actually use both bonuses.
And that would be +3.
And +3 plus your golfing bonus of 8.
So,
and then your 3 wood gives you +2. So you're at a +13 right now. You can also use this ability right here and add 5 more to it.
Now let's go
Let's
ahead.
go with that. All right.
Sorry.
See what he's got. A 2. So that puts you at a what was it? You were at 3, 12, +2 more. 3, 12. It's very late.
15.
So 15. So you're at a 15. So you are on the fairway with a 15.
It's 1:34 in the morning.
What do you think? I'm just letting you do it.
I understood. And a herd card comes out. So more zombies come on out, and that gives us 2 more zombies. Amazing shot for you.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. It's crazy. And then the chomps. Chomps. Chomps is one of the 2 biter zombies. They drool. Spittle drools down the monster's chin. A single bite is all it would take to end your round of golf and your life. If you attack Chomps and roll a 4 or less with a total of 4 or less, he bites you and you turn into a zombie unless you can find the mutant ice cream in the trophy deck, and it will save you from turning into a zombie.
Mutant ice cream.
Yes, there's mutant ice cream. It heals you and it stops you from turning into a zombie if you discard it. So there you have it. All right, so Chomps is out there. You get to attack at least 1 zombie. You get a free attack.
All right, we'll do Chomps.
All right, you're going to hit Chomps. Go ahead. And
now we're going to use the 5 iron.
There you go.
Or actually, we use the 3 iron because I got 4.
No, you want to use the zombie hits. So you only get 2.
That's right. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm inverting them. So yeah, we'll use the 5 iron.
All right, so +3. So you need to break a 6 to kill Chomps.
Okay.
So it's not very hard. A 1.
Oh,
not only do you miss Chomps, you are now bitten.
Oh, okay.
So you will be turning. No,
Oh
you're not
no, Glenn got
dead. You
bit.
will turn into a zombie at the end of the hole. So if you actually win this hole, you still win the game, even though you turn into a zombie. Because you won 2 holes. You still were the best golfer. But look out some of these buttons.
Here I thought it was all laboratory. I guess I'm turning into a zombie.
Right. So you, and because you rolled a 1, you do get a frustration.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Mike, you are up, sir. The
All
professor is
right,
up.
I am going to start from.
And you only get 1 bonus because you have frustration.
I'm going to start from 3.
Okay.
I'm going to use my +6 with my swing and my driver.
Well, you don't get a driver bonus. You only
I
get
know,
a bonus.
but I'm just using the driver.
That's fair enough.
That's what you would use.
Yes, that's
So I have a base +9.
plus 9. 12. You are on the green. Amazing.
12 and 9 is
No.
21.
12s are an automatic success.
Oh,
yeah.
You automatically get on the green. You get the trophy for the best drive.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I grabbed 2. There you go. So what's that card?
Replacement clubs.
So if you break a club, that's a club you can immediately replace it with.
Get by. Okay.
So there you go. So you were on the green. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, Sakura.
Night,
Thank you
sir.
for joining us.
Sakura, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
And
Have a lovely day.
I'm very glad you were able to play.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, I think you, among other things, not only do you get the badass final on the Water God,
Okay.
but
so
you really
you're
helped
up.
Corey because bringing him back
So
in.
you were at
and taking
15?
out
Oh, wait,
was
I have to fight
awesome.
a
No,
zombie.
you have to fight a zombie. You're right. I forgot about that. Oh, Coach just showed up. So Coach is a walker zombie. And actually, these guys all move down and Coach goes there. So, and Chomps, as long as he hits somebody, he stays.
now, if
He hits somebody, he has a 1 plus a star. So
if he had another zombie, would you put it here?
I would normally run him out, but I'm running out of table space.
Okay.
Normally you would run it out. But the idea is that Chomps would go off, but because he hit you and he hit you and bit you, he gets to stay.
So the depth is you just can't attack him.
You can attack anybody you want. You can attack any zombie you want, but this guy's a walker, so he will roll off when it shifts down again for the next zombie.
Okay.
So he's not as big a threat as some of these other guys because they're going to hang out longer.
All right,
The
cool.
2s will stay. The 2s will basically, the way it would work out is the 2s are going to go away, and the 3s, the stars, they never go off. You
Okay.
have to kill them.
Okay.
All
So-
right.
So, which one would you like to attack? Now, if you don't attack Coach
Yeah.
and let him swing, and you take a wound, but you get plus or minus 5 to your next swing because Coach is helping you. Because let me read Coach to you. Everybody loved the high school coach. Even as a zombie, they want to help, but they hurt you as they do. So he will give you plus or minus 5 to your next swing if you want it. But you could basically have plus or minus 5 on your putt from Coach. You should have to take a wound to do it, and he still gets another swing at you.
You're right. I'm gonna ignore Coach.
Okay.
But I don't like chomps.
Okay. Chomps is
So I'm
there.
gonna take a swing at chomps.
What club are you using?
I'm gonna use my 5-iron. No, I'm gonna use my 4-iron because my 5-iron can be used anywhere.
Absolutely. 4-iron plus 3. There you go.
Plus 3.
10,
13.
13. And you killed Chomps. Nicely done.
Chomps is gone.
Chomps drops. All right. Okay. And you lose a frustration because you killed the zombie.
Yay!
All right. So,
But Mike frustrates me, so I gain a frustration.
apparently, would you like a token?
No, I'm brimming with frustration tokens.
All right. So now you're up, sir. You are, well, actually, I'm up. I'm in the sand, so I immediately take a wound because I'm going to take a golf swing. So there's my wound. I only have a toughness of 4, so that's not good. And I am hitting for my hazard. So I get plus 2. Thank you, Sean, for your help.
I'm a helping helper who helps.
I can draw an extra zombie for plus 5 on this swing, but I think I'm going to not do that. I'm going to say with a 14, and I only get 1 club, I'm going to take my plus 9. That puts me at a 23. So hopefully I can get over the 27, but under 31.
Yep.
27, exactly. So that puts me in the chipping box. So that means that I end up in the chipping box. In order to get on the green, I have to roll under a 5 to get on there. Exactly. Which is why you can use your sand wedge to do plus or minus.
Okay.
But
Dude, you really put a lot into this.
amazingly, I didn't. It just kind of came together. It's one of those things.
Well, the point is, you obviously know golf.
I played enough golf with my dad. I was never good at it. I got to the point where I golfed in sandals, and I had golfing sandals.
I played one time with my father, who, by the way, was encouraged after playing some pro-am stuff to go pro,
Oh, wow.
because that's how much of an athlete he was.
Mhm.
I played one time with him, and it was so embarrassing for both of us. He's passed now, so
Yeah.
I can totally break it, but we promised never to speak of it again.
Yeah.
It was just awful.
Yeah, no. And the first time I golfed with my dad, I was terrible. And I never got good, but I got good enough to at least make it fun. And I always enjoyed the beer cart.
My dad played the Pro-Am prelude
Mhm.
to the Masters for 3 years running. And on the
Wow.
3rd year, the pros that he was playing with were like, Charlie, this is ridiculous. Go pro. Because he was beating a lot of their scores.
Right.
He was really that good.
Wow. Yeah, my dad, he just always enjoyed it. It was that test of man versus man versus himself kind of thing. So tracksuit moves down to row 3. The messy bobs roll off, and I just drew a coach for my zombie that I have to fight. So I'm going to fight my zombie. I'm going to use my driver.
We got 19 viewers at
3.
this.
3 plus 3 is a 6.
9.
It's enough to kill coach.
Hey, viewers,
Cool.
can you bring us some burgers?
All right.
Michael Surbrook would like it if you brought us burgers right now.
All right. So
I'm
I'm in the
hungry.
chipping hole, and it is your turn, sir.
Okay.
So now don't forget these cards you have here, too.
I know.
Well,
We
go
can look at
fucking
this.
forage,
What?
dude.
3.
There you go.
I said the F word.
Yes, but you can also just
I'm
use. You
sorry.
have this. Oh, you're not. You have an amazing shot. You can play that from. Does it say from my fairway or from the hazard?
No, it says playing the card before the fairway swing. Shot is on the green. Rolls D.
So you can play that card and get
Under
on the
putt
green.
target wins the hole.
Right. So you could put yourself on the green right now and roll under a 5, and you'd win the hole.
It's in the hole.
Exactly.
It's in the
Wait,
hole.
I get a perfect shot, and he's going to win the hole.
Actually, this one here. It's playing a card before the any chip
But you,
swing.
then you would need to be in the chipping box to play that. You
Oh,
can use that
okay.
for a reroll.
I have a puppy. Well,
Sure.
no, she's actually quite old.
So
She's not a
your
puppy.
choice.
Hello, Raya.
This is Raya. Say hello. Say good morning, Raya, to everybody.
Hey, Raya. Hi, Raya.
Shot is on the green. Roll D12.
So the shot's on the green. You're playing that card. Shot's on the green. So if you roll under a 5, then you put it. Go ahead and roll.
Can you not be sick anymore?
Raya, you know, with those ears, you look like the flying nun.
Now that I
That'd
can
be good if
spend
you
this
sick
for
A reroll.
Hey,
oh
Raya.
real.
A reroll if you would like to do that. But you're going to want to roll first to see And you can't use this stuff. This is just to see if it goes in after your
Oh.
amazing shot.
The hand of Michael comes
4.
over the camera.
So you put it in the hole.
Well,
All right. So what just happened is you won the game of zombie golf because you got 2 out of 3 holes. But
Whoa.
you turned into a zombie.
Glenn Thain won
Unless
zombie golf. and
the only thing that
turned
can
into a
save
zombie.
you- If this card is the ice cream, it is not. It is Super G golf balls. So you turn into a zombie, but you are the best golfer in the apocalypse.
Because the becomes a zombie.
To you, Mike, I would say the tagline is all the frustration of golf. And you and I both had the most frustrating round of golf
Yes.
you possibly could imagine.
yes.
But it was
That was
fun.
Oh, it was a scream. It was a scream.
Guys, seriously, you need to pay attention. This freaking game is hysterical. I have enjoyed.
And I'm
just
very
listening
excited about
to it.
the expansion of the with the family golf outing because some of the story events that I've got coming down are going to be quite entertaining. Firemen come to clear out the golf course. There's a BMW, or as I like to call it, a CXN 81. There's people in the car. You save them. That's where the cast comes from. Things like that. So it adds a lot of story to it. So those who like to role play, family golf outing adds that Walking Dead feel to it, if you will, while you're playing golf, which is something
It's hysterical.
again you don't get a lot of, and you don't need to love golf to play this game. You need to love killing zombies. That's what it's really all about.
Dude,
So,
you gotta demoing this game is the trick.
I know. I know.
It is absolutely the trick. So,
Well, don't. I will be getting that video from you tomorrow,
oh, of course.
and then I will be putting that up on the Kickstarter because that was a beautiful. I thank you both for playing. That was a
Oh,
beautiful
absolutely.
round.
Happy to play.
It was a very, very good round of
Leon,
zombie
we're so
golf.
glad you came and did this.
Oh, I'm very glad I came and played.
I enjoyed it very much. I'm looking forward to actually getting around to playing it when I'm not
Oh,
so
wait a
brain
minute.
dead myself.
You came in a Warhammer box? Can I use like fire, Prometheus?
This is the tester.
Oh,
This is the
Surbrook,
tester.
I swear. Next thing you're asking if you can use what is it? Stupid freaking game you play all the time that you would marry if you could.
Borderlands.
Borderlands. Remember, I was asking for like Borderlands, stuff.
3's that coming out? Okay.
I gotta wait. I gotta wait for them to announce it to be on a Mac.
Mr. Tor.
And I
is
don't
that
want to
his name?
use. I don't. You do not insult Mr. Tor.
Mr. Torg. You
Ah.
want to play Mr. Torg as a character in this game.
Lee, I got one question for you, and one question only.
I got an answer for you.
Explosions.
Hadn't thought of it, but I could add it. That would be
Are you
easy.
familiar with the Borderlands
Mr.
mythology?
Torg has the
I am
single.
not.
Mr. Torg has the single best line in the entire game. That sentence had too many syllables. Apologize.
But I could. The groundskeeper is very fluid at the moment. Right now, it's only the one card, but I think that's an excellent idea to add some special events that are not in the game to now. So I think that is going to go up to probably 10 or 15 cards. But that's well worth it, I think, especially for the fun of what the groundskeeper is going to do, because it's going to be very silly.
Well,
in the theme of the game.
so as a side note, when Borderlands 2 is a sequel to the original Loot and Shoot Borderlands,
Sure.
and Borderlands 2 they announced they released some DLC downloadable content,
Sure.
and the first thing they released was something called Mr. Torg's Campaign of Carnage,
Oh, okay.
which was absolutely hysterical because Mr. Torg can be summed up by the line, "I have one question for you, one question only: explosions."
Yes.
And now, granted, for somebody who is a giant mass of muscle who's not exactly a genius, he does have he did have some great advice, which was you should always treat a woman with respect, because there's nothing more badass than treating a woman with respect.
Very good.
And everyone was like, this was the greatest DLC ever. And then Gearbox said, hold our beer. And they released Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep.
Which is great.
Which was like, it was so meta because you are the player playing your character while other characters are playing a game of D&D effectively, which means that their characters are playing your character while you're playing that character.
Yeah.
I have come to the conclusion that I have two. Now, granted, they won't be for P&PUE,
Right.
but I have an idea, and I've been working on it and thinking about it. I want to do 2 3-part convention games.
Okay.
One of which is to adapt Dream Park into 3 4-hour sessions.
Got it.
And the other one, I realized I could pull it off. I just have to think about what are the primary plot points, but do Tiny Tina's Assault and Dragon Keep. And I want to figure out how long people, realize.
Right.
Like, I could just call it Assault and Dragon Keep, and people are like, okay, that sounds really cool. Then go, oh, crap, this is Tiny.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and to give you an idea how awesome Mr. Torg is, at one point, a character goes, if you complete this mission, I'll give you my sword gun. And you hear, and you hear some of the dialogue, is that a gun that shoots swords? You know it. And then Mr. Torg goes, well, wouldn't it be even better if it's a gun that shoots swords that explode, and the more swords that also explode? so you get a shotgun
that shoots multiple swords.
that shoots a sword, and when you pull the trigger, you don't see a bullet animation. You see a spinning sword, and when it hits its target, it'll detonate, and you usually see 2 to 3 more swords go out, and they also explode.
That's quite awesome.
And the weapons, special weapons have red text, which will usually be like, there's a gun that when you pull the trigger just unleashes like a dozen rounds at once, and the red text is Fear the Swarm. Well, for this gun, it's Mr. Torg said so.
Mr.
Torg said so.
Very nice. Yes. No. So that's Zombie Golf. We are up on Kickstarter. We are entering. We're coming up on our first week.
We'll start pushing it.
We're at $383. We're trying to get $15K.
Okay.
So we're a little short right now, but it's okay. We'll get there. I really believe this game is worth getting. It's the kind of game that you can throw out and play 3 quick holes just to entertain people while you're waiting for people to show up to play other games.
Oh, dude.
And it's the game that you can throw out with 3 really competitive guys, play a 9-hole game in an hour, and really see how bad you can screw each other over. So it's really got both aspects of it.
Pass it on to your
Brian,
friends.
what are you
This is
doing?
a great game.
Why are you
I
licking
appreciate it.
Sean's feet?
And then
Those are his feet. They've been all over the floor.
She doesn't care.
she doesn't care. And then I've got some other games that I'm going to be getting out sometime soon. But this is the
Ryan,
focus right now.
you've been through this
Same
with Daddy before.
This is why I need.
Well,
I know you want to go to bed. but no.
One of the other games I'm going to be releasing probably after this one, whether we're successful or not, is called Panic, the bad sci-fi movie board game.
Okay, so
And you've played that.
well, Lee, I hate to say it, I was like, aren't you the guy? Didn't we play that game? And I can I've met some. Okay, so just as a side note for viewers, I moved to Denver almost a year ago. It'll be May 6th. It'll be a year, and I've met so many people. And I came in and I'm like, I kind of recognize people here, but I don't know if I recognize all of them. And I was like, didn't we play? Oh, we did play that game.
Yes, we did. And the shtick of Panic is that you're playing in a bad sci-fi movie, and you're trying to get the most screen time by sabotaging the other player.
Yes.
And the other thing that I've come up with from feedback from other players is there's going to be a table read version where you don't use the board, you just use the cards.
Give me that pencil.
Sure, absolutely. And so
I am kind of peckish, but I don't know what I want.
And so so there's that, and then I've got a strategic game that I've been working on for a long time that I finally just got working. A board game called Flashpoint, which I'm really excited about. It's really
You're gonna need to change the
That's
name.
what I really still want to try.
no, it's called Flashpoint Global Influence because I know the firefighter game. Yes, I'm with you, and I'm still working on it. And I'm now that I figured it out and it works and it's not mathy and really a pain. I played Devastation level with a buddy of mine and we finished it in an hour and 45 minutes. We had 2 major
Why did you
flashpoints.
change that core title though?
I know. Or find a way to differentiate it from the firefighter game because yes, I'm aware of it.
No, you just don't want to compete with that at all.
I know I don't. Believe me, I get it.
Global Crisis.
Global Crisis, that could be it too. So I got some other ideas, so we'll see. But first I got to get the new cards printed because right now I'm using old cards with stickers on them, but it worked. It worked for what I needed to test, which was a total redesign of the economies, and the economies worked amazing. It was very, very good.
What you absolutely need, to do at the basic level is use what you've got, come up with your ideas and spill them out just the way you did here.
Right.
And that way you can play this thing while you wait for being able to get the money.
Right.
To actually produce the cards that you need.
Exactly. We've got stuff coming, and manufacturers' quotes are in line, and I'm very excited. So I'm looking forward to it. Please take the time to check out Zombie Golf. There's a setup video up there right now. Pictures of a lot of the cards, and I'm working on this video will go up hopefully tomorrow night, and then I'm working on some other videos, and these tester cards, these images will go up as well to kind of give you an idea of where Family Golf Outing is going. And it really does add a lot in terms of story, because you can start doing things with these characters, and they give you abilities to do stuff. So
Yeah, I don't see anything about this.
I will.
There you are.
All right.
Very nice.
Yes, and it's the second most boring sport you could ever think of.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a bad one. I will put that
So
away.
you put that away, and let me know when you want to do something with it, and I'll be happy to help.
And I appreciate it. That's
Not a
excellent.
problem.
Excellent. All right. Well, now it is 2:00 in the morning, and I need to drive a long way away to get to my house.
Where are you
Yeah,
driving?
to Highlands Ranch. It's a half
Oh, okay.
hour. It's not
Okay.
a ton. It's not a ton.
Where are you
but it's
going?
Highlands Ranch, so it's south, straight down 25.
I'm slowly learning where I am. I've done
I get it. I've been here since 2001. It takes a little bit of time. It's not laid out smartly. It's just laid out.
So you know what I really, really like about Denver is I've discovered 4 really nice used bookstores.
Yes. Yes. There's a lot of great places. Like
Fahrenheit is one. The Hermitage is another.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one. I've heard of Fahrenheit.
Hermitage is on Cherry Creek Lane.
Okay.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Is it? No,
Well, what it is, it's almost all hardbacks, and they 10 and up, but they're really quality books.
Mhm.
There's Hermitage. I got told to go to Kilgore, and Black and Red are reading.
Black and Red Games is just amazing.
Yeah, Steve Long was, if he had not been ill, was like he really wanted to go when they invited him out as a guest for Genghis Khan. And I don't know. I guess Donnie's going to try next year, and he's like, I got to go to this place. I'm like, yeah, you do.
Apparently, I met
sounds like it.
him.
I'll have to put it
I
on
met
the list.
him way back when, but because of my memory loss, I don't remember ever meeting him. But we had contact together on Facebook, and I was really disappointed that he didn't make it out.
He got real sick the day before.
I know.
I enjoyed listening.
No, if I had at one point I could have done it, but since I'm unemployed.
Hit the head real
But
quick.
there is there's another used bookstore about
Thank
14.
No, thank you for playing. I really appreciate
Oh,
it. Both of
hey,
you.
it was a pleasure.
Glad you enjoyed it. It certainly
And-
is a fun game. It's a
Any-
little silly, I'll admit that, but sometimes you got to play it.
Well, I played Lee Garvin's Badass Zombie Killers, where you make the most ridiculous zombie killing weapon.
Right, exactly. So yeah, same idea. So sometimes a little silly is fun, and the nice thing about it is, like I said, no need to know golf.
Nope.
Just need to know how to be frustrated.
And any other game you come up with, I'll be more than happy to get copy out however I can.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you, sir, very much.
You're welcome.
Hit the head, and then I.
Yeah, there's
On my way.
down at 1400 South Broadway. There's a bookstore. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. I got it on my list, and I don't know if it's still there. It probably is, but they have an 1828 expedition to Greenland,
Oh God.
and I'm flipping through it, and it's legible, and it has all these fold out maps.
I haven't read that book in years. I've actually seen a copy though. We have a copy in the public library at San Mateo.
Well, this is from 1829.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 200 and some odd years old. It's got all these fold out maps. And there was a post-it note inside that said $75. And then the other one was like $775. And I said, well, which is it? Because if it's $75, I will buy this sucker
Done.
right now. And
Done.
they're like, no, it's somewhere between those two. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. So what I did get was that somebody had given them, or they had on the shelf, an Eastman Press, which meant that it was normally like $100 book, $99 or whatever. But they had Eastman Press down below station, leather bound, with the bookmark. And I was like, well, I want that, because my copy of Down Below Stations is not good.
I was one of the original people to buy Vampire. And every time they came out with a new game, I was there. When they hit Wraith, as much as I love that game, I couldn't find all the books for it. Black and Red, they're all there sitting on the shelf. It's like
they have one
holy
single
crap.
shelf unit that's just groaning with.
Mm-hmm. All the old stuff.
Probably my single most.
So, dude, you can forage in the kitchen if you want. You can try yourself or whatever, or want to order something. I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm gonna dissolve myself with sugar, which will keep me up. And when I get home, I'll take medication, and it'll go away.
What do you got there?
Eggs.
Me.
The leftover eggs from what Jennifer made this morning.
Trying to think if there's anything that's 24-hour on a Sunday night. It's not.
I would just go off